What's the status of the normalization and all of that?
Well, at least it started because the Secretary General is in place from the NSA.
Okay.
As it should have been the case the past 4 years. So that's been normalized. So that's the normalization.
Yeah.
That part is.
And who's that? Patrick Johnson.
That's right.
Okay.
I know there were outstanding issues, but whatever reconciliations have to be done. But the fact that an NSA staff is in place as the Secretary General has normalized the situation per the statute. Okay, then going forward, there are certain remnants of the old administration and some waiting on the wings to take advantage of the situation that are, quote unquote, fighting the system. I think it's in futility because no matter what they do, this government has already proved that the reset agenda is in full swing. So everything is going to be reset. Now, in the case of boxing and the professional boxing, it wasn't even the reset agenda that put anything new into the system. It was caused by their own indifference to the very patently bad administration that just left office. Talking about your friend Nikwe. So
every time you say that, it cracks me up so much.
I know you like him. You may not like his style of leadership, but I know you like him. So
we can't prove that. I don't even know the man personally.
Oh, you don't have to know somebody to like anybody. So this was something that was already inevitable because the safeguards for boxing were for so long absent. No guardrails and you should always put the athlete front and center. The past administration was never putting the athlete front and center. The athlete is the most important. You talk about administrators, whoever, but the athlete is number one. So if you're not going to put the boxer front and center, and then by that I mean the medicals have to be first of all made sure that you have the right personnel in place to safeguard the boxer. That wasn't the case, and all the officials some of whom were on the sidelines were still on the board, I would say quietly collaborated with that because they didn't oppose it, at least publicly they didn't. So if you're on the board and the president is running a one-man show and you didn't speak up, publicly at least, you're part of the problem. Because if you didn't like it, they should have quit. So long as you stayed on, you liked it. So some of the remnants of the past administration who were on the board, who temporarily have been given the saddle, trying to put spokes in the wheel of the NSA. I don't understand it. And I think the NSA is also asked for it by being too lax. You are given clear mandate and powers by the committee's recommendation to run boxing until you're able to put in an interim body. So it wasn't like they were waiting to put in an interim body. The NSA was mandated per the ministerial committee's report to run boxing until it was able to put in interim body. The NFA has failed to do that.
Okay.
Has not been able to put in an interim body within a reasonable time.
Okay.
And then the NSA also did something, I would say, disorderly, because it extended the mandate of the interim body from the past administration. When their time was due, the NSA had no power anywhere in any statute to have extended the mandate of the body that took over from Nikwe, because they take their mandate from their Congress. The NSA doesn't give them the mandate. So if you don't give a body a mandate, by which powers are you extending their mandate? So that was problematic for me.
Have you, in maybe your own capacity, did you try to find out why the NSA did what it did? Have you had conversations, even if they were informal, to find out or to get an understanding as to why the NSA probably took that step?
Well, before it took that step, Yao is my brother, so we talked, the NSA boss. And I didn't like his speed, quote unquote, in implementing the reforms.
Okay.
And I've spoken to him at length about that, and we have different opinions. His style is different. He didn't think there was any need to, quote unquote, rush. But we told the minister when we handed over the report that, we need urgent reforms. And he agreed with it. And given the timeline, we're expecting that once from the date we presented the report, elections should be held within 6 months of handing the report in. So there was the urgency, and he didn't think there was the need to speed up. That's where we diverge. And if he had thought to speed it up, they would have put in a body before they would put in the interim body.
Okay.
Because that's our recommendation, that they put in a body, run the boxing, because fortunately you have Patrick Johnson, who's a staff of NSA anyway, and he had been with 2 previous presidents. So he knows the drill, he knows the ropes, he knows what to do. So, and then the GBA has an office at the stadium.
Yeah.
So it will be easier to even run it from the stadium. So that's the part about Yao's delay that I haven't liked, because it slowed it down and giving these remnants of the past administration all this quote unquote power to try to resist him. For their own good, they better leave the NSA boss alone to go ahead and implement the reforms, because really, if the state were going to be hard on them, they would shut down the office at the boxing arena, because they don't have a mandate. This extension is from the NSA. So since they extended their mandate and they accepted it, then the NSA can shut them down. So it would be in their interest to cooperate. There are plans afoot from abroad to help Ghana boxing. So they shouldn't put problems in the way of the state. Okay. I'll say Matchroom is trying to help bring Anthony Joshua here to fight sometime. Well, Joshua may not be able to fight in December, but they have plans to help boxing in the sub-region.
Okay.
Matchroom CEO just left Accra, inspected Accra Stadium and other venues, had talked with some local promoters. They're trying to bring more boxing into the sub-region after they did the Beast, Battle of the Beast. Yeah. They're having one Chaos in the Ring in Nigeria for their independence. Okay. So they're trying, and it's American and Anthony Joshua and Matchroom. They're trying to spread it out in Africa. Okay. So let's help the cause. Speed it up, because there may be opportunities, but opportunities have windows. So if you don't speed it up and put in the right structures, you miss those opportunities. So I'm glad that the eye of the world, at least from the British angle, is on Africa, with American helping, Anthony Joshua helping on that. Let's help push the car, which is stalled. So by saying this too, I'm calling on the state to help speed up the infrastructure, the emergency infrastructure that, in their NDC's manifesto, they said they would do the emergency rehabilitation of some existing infrastructure. This is the time. Okay. If the state has to borrow a whole lot more money from reliable sources to put the infrastructure in place, let's do it, especially the Kaneshi Sports Complex. Yeah. Azuma Nelson fought his first 6 fights there. Yeah. And he won the African title there. And to see the current state. And his name is on it. And he's the only Hall of Famer in Ghana. The only Hall of Famer. Yeah. And he's the only, in the whole of Africa, he's the number 1. In terms of longevity, impact, and everything. So for such a person, instead of honoring him with the kind of status as Muhammad Ali has in Kentucky, they have the Muhammad Ali center. Yeah. It draws a lot of tourists and a lot of money. So this is an opportunity for the state. Fix the Kaneshi Sports Complex. Raise it to the standard of, say, the Muhammad Ali thing, because I know it can be done. I don't believe in we can't do it, or there's no money. No. We have brains, we can think it out. We have a lot of brains. Look at the system now, this gold board thing is changed, the dollar is stabilized and all that. We have people who can think. So Ghana has never had a problem with thinking or putting something on paper. It's always been the implementation. That's right. So let's get the political will. I'm calling on President Ibrahim Mahama, for supporting legacy, rights, sports and all that, to put in more investment in that area. Get the infrastructure ready and the boxing will take off.
Joshua, let me take your thoughts. In all of this, this thing that's been happening around pro boxing or the GBA, we really haven't heard much. I don't know whether you have any comments you want to share on everything that's happened. The story post Olariwaju's death and the push to clean out the system and ensure that Ghana boxing is in a good place. I don't know if you have any thoughts or what your thoughts are on all of this that's happening, the normalization and how it's being done and all of this.
Well, Nathan, thank you. I've really, followed events to the committee's work, during the committee's work, and after the committee's work, and I've represented the amateur base at most of the activities that the NSA is doing to bring the normalization in place. Last 2 weeks or so, there was a program that was to, prepare the ground for the normalization. Yeah. So certain personnel were brought in to tell the stakeholders, they call themselves stakeholders, who the NSA is dealing with now, to let them know, like Senior Eko said, they are not ready for the normalization. That's the so-called stakeholders in the boxing industry.
They try to give
and these are
problems.
The trainers association, promoter association, the manager association, matchmaking or agent association, ring official association, professional veterans association, and boxers association, boxing gyms or class association, and it's supposed to include regional boxing authority association. But anytime they are coming, they ignore the regionals, because boxing, if you know the history of Ghana boxing, it's not limited to Accra.
No.
Okay.
Especially in the northern region.
Northern region. It's only that Accra have the history of boxing.
Of course.
And the good coaches, the good organizers, etc., are all, based in, how do you call it, Accra. So that's it. You go to my base in Takoradi Secondary. Actually, it's one of the areas that boxing started with.
Okay.
And they produce, great men and all those things. The like of a Konkani, a Diblay and all those things.
From our
even Cape
Coast,
Coast, right? And then there's a place in Cape Coast now, where Duas Club houses in the night. You see active boxing going. So boxing is not limited to Accra.
That's right.
Kumasi and all those things. So they have to. But anytime they are coming, they just carry people from the Bukum area, which in itself is a problem. So looking at the problems that the findings that the committee made, and by my deed of my hard work and my relationship with the powers that be, I've managed to get a copy, which I'm keeping to myself. I'm not sharing it anyway. From what they find out and what I know, and the state of Ghana boxing now, I think there's a need for resetting and the normalization that must come in. This is a country that at the stage, that's specifically in the 80s, we used to boast of 4 credible world champions at the time.
Yep. The golden generation.
4 credible, not, Senior was mentioning we have 10 world champions. I said 9. Because the other one, we still can't look. We still can't.
No, we have 10.
We still can't gratify.
Look, even Joshua when he was Joshua, right? Anthony Joshua when he was Joshua, and then Pac-Man when he was Pac-Man. They still had the IBO. I know what you're talking about.
So
they still had the IBO. It was part of the bargaining chips.
So the sticking point is what?
It's the IBO. I know.
So I'm talking about.
They had the IBO. It was part of their negotiating tactics. Yeah. If you won their belt. You had to fight for that.
Anyway, I think
so. And
the debate will continue.
No, but even if Pac-Man had IBO,
yes,
and Anthony Joshua, who at the time was the WBC heavyweight, then you have to respect IBO.
Later, still, I maintain that.
This is for your country.
No, I'm saying that I still maintain that. Then we had 10 credible world champions.
Okay.
And at the stage, we had about 7 weight categories where Ghanaians were champions, from Kisumala, Nana Okonedu. I mean, I'm talking about African champions before you get to Azuma Nelson, featherweight. Then you come to Ernest Thompson Carson, which influenced him to help build a boxing arena. That is Philip Agokote.
Okay.
Lightweight. Then you had this gentleman who passed on recently.
Afrikote.
No, not Afrikote.
No, okay.
He was middleweight. He was a Muslim at Newtown.
Yeah, I just kept my mind.
And you have the light heavyweight, Mama Musa, Mama, something like this. He was light heavyweight. Adela Mensah, heavyweight. They were African champions.
Yeah.
Before you go to the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And if you look at our situation now, you look at our situation as a country, we don't boast of any world champion. Our boxers are not even ranked on the African continent. As we speak now, the Commonwealth Boxing Council and the British Boxing Council have suspended Ghanaian boxers from fighting.
Why?
So they are not getting ranked because of
why?
Because
What's
of
the
certain
Your man.
because of certain things
Because of
which
certain things
I don't
that
have
we are
evidence to talk about.
Okay.
And letters came.
But at least it happened during the tenure of Abraham Kotenikwe.
Right.
It did.
Well, I'm saying
That's
I
when
don't
it
have-
happened.
Yes,
No,
but
I'm not
the
saying.
letter came.
We're not
to
talking about
suspend us.
evidence. It happened during his
It
tenure.
happened when
And
he was
it was
president.
published,
right.
and I chanced on, and I have a copy of that letter. And fortunately, one of the veteran promoters, Mr. Bofi Yoham, is a friend to the Commonwealth Boxing Council officials, and they are in communication. And if things are done well, that's suspending can leave. Because before becoming a world champion, you need to go through, that a stage or transition.
Yeah, that's the blueprint. African champion, Commonwealth champion, get into the
And
ratings.
it prepares you, and you are well ranked.
Yep.
That's how that Zuma Nelson, I Quarter, and all those people came. But what you are seeing now, they come and plug the immature amateurs straight to professionals.
Yeah, it's part of the recommendations to fix it.
You see, then straight they move on. When they get what is commonly and popularly known, the Achiagbation staff. Part their records.
You mean
get some
Achiagbation?
staff?
You know, the first time my colleague Raymond, and shout out to Raymond, he sent me some questions to ask you. I'll ask you and Jojo.
Okay.
The first time he mentioned
Achiagbation.
I was in stitches. I thought it was made up, only for me to
No.
find out that it was actually true.
Let me-
You see,
let me
so
clarify.
I'm sharing this thing because I've seen boxing right from the age of 7 and up to date. And I've read and I've seen boxing. When I say I've seen boxing, proper boxing. So if the state of Ghana boxing now, people are not concerned. And knowing the economic viability of boxing and what boxing have done to a community where I was born and I grew up, Mamprobi, with that radius where I share with Azuma Nelson, a Bo Dankwa, and even I Clotte passed through at the stage.
Yes.
Clotte at the stage, they came to stay there. It's that changed the economy of that area. In terms of earnings, people who have traveled, people Azuma has helped to go in school, people Azuma have bought trot for to change their lives. And the multiply effects. And we are trying to kill that game. Because like I'm saying, currently no Ghanaian boxer is properly ranked in any of the major recognized international regulatory bodies. And let alone thinking of immediate world champion. But we have the potentials. Look at the boxers we have. That the amateur rank we produce. There's Samuel Techis, Theophilus Makwalote, Joseph Kome. So we don't lack the talents.
Yeah, but you see, Joe, it's not just the talent. With boxing, it's so technical. I think we have to try and educate some of our brothers in the media organizations. You could have all the potential. Let's take Azuma Nelson, for instance. He's the prime example. Given all that he had, he was a prodigy. Still, without the Akotoku Academy concept, and the vested interest of people like Major Retired Amaka Amatefio, John Alete Kofi, DF Annan and co, to help run the academy, it wouldn't have happened. Amaka Amatefio himself personally made sure Azuma Nelson got drafted to the Ghana Prison Service, which enabled Azuma Nelson to fight at the World Military Games, which got him the prominence. So it's not just about the promise. You need the clout of the promoters and managers to match the aspirations.
So it's a mix
if you don't have the clout,
it's a mix of talent,
the
and then
talent is
infrastructure hard and soft.
That's
hard
right.
being gyms and stadia and blah blah blah. Soft being, like you said,
plus the personnel.
intellect. You mean the intellect, personnel, all
the clout, because you see, you have to be going to those conventions.
Yeah, so senior, so like I was coming there. So yes, the state is very critical in this regard. And if you look at it, Kwame Nkrumah in 1964 make a deliberate attempt to get the world champion for Ghana. That was when Floyd Kutu Robertson challenged Sugar Ramos in Accra.
Yeah.
And I think, they say I wasn't born then. but it is believed that under some controversial circumstance,
Yeah, I can tell
You
you.
lost.
You see,
Now-
our people like boxing, but we don't know how to win in boxing. For instance, the Sugar Ramos came here with Angelo Dundee, who had just trained Azuma trained Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay to beat Sonny Liston. Just what, 4 months prior to that. Angelo Dundee was Sugar Ramos' corner. That's staggering enough. And then guess what? The WBA president at last man at the time, can you imagine that the WBA president doubled as a judge? And you know, Sugar Ramos is born Cuban, but he fought as a Mexican at some point. Then you have the Mexican Boxing Commission president also here as a judge. How are you going to win?
okay, so now
It's part of the reason.
Yeah, so now to put on
we need people besides the boxers. We need personnel, the judges, the
the higher
technical side.
places.
Secondly, I was coming there. So you look at it. Then the role of the states in that regard. So after that failed attempt by Sugar Ray, then we had a head of state, after Nkrumah, who seriously was sports intoxicated. That's the late
Champo.
General Kutu Achampo.
That's right.
So he also made it sure. And if all these things I'm saying are narrations from His Excellency Major Amaka Amatefu retired, because his brother G.A. Amatefu, who was also a sports administrator per SLS, was sure. So they decided to, separate the amateur base from the professional. That was where the Ghana amateur boxing authority was separated, and GBA, came into a being. So there was a deliberate attempt, and it was to prepare DK Poison, who, as a Ghanaian, had an excellent record, was based in Australia. So top-notch boxing men like the late Justice D.F. Annan, right? And His Excellency Amaka Amatefu, who was then with the Ghana Armed Forces as the team manager, with late former President J.J. Rawlings as his assistant. So you look at the quality of personnel who were in charge of boxing at the time.
Yep.
And a lot was done. DK Poison went through the national championship, won the African title, I think Commonwealth or so,
Yes, he
put
did.
him a good ranking in the WBC, getting Ghana's first major title for us. So you look, it was deliberate attempt. Now, at the time, after post Nkrumah, the amateur with Amaka Amatefu in the army, and then Rawlings and co, made sure that
D.F. Annan.
D.F. Annan, yes, make sure that Kenneth Sharp,
Yes.
at least are military people with discipline in place.
Yes.
Make sure that the national team was built around the Ghana Armed Forces, and they used this gym, the gym around the community center down there. It's the Army's gym.
Yep.
The name has escaped me a bit, but I think it will come. So they built the national boxing team around it. And look at it. At that time, after we have dominated and Ghana became the strongest amateur boxing nation in the Commonwealth, because we won 6 gold medals proud 1962-66, and have won Africa's recognized first Olympic medal, because those ones the South Africans won
Yeah, Clement. Clement
was off.
Yes.
And 64 then this guy, what's the name? No, 64 Eddie Blake.
yeah.
By that time, countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Australia has never even won a medal in boxing at the Olympics. We are 1-2. We sat down today. Algeria have gone to 1-2 gold. Nigeria. So that's the state.
So clearly we haven't managed the space well. We haven't
course.
done well with boxing.
So
you talk about
so
finish.
now, this is what have been done. Identify the talent first, prepare the talent. There used to be a national sports festival.
Yep.
It is national. It wasn't limited to Accra. So we had national boxing champions. All the regions. That's how Nana Okunedu was discovered.
Yep.
Even the Honorable Nilante also tried an attempt with this thing in the Brown Afro region to join the national team as a boxer. That's how we get Kofi Jantwa and all those people.
Yep.
So all those, then they come for the final national sports festival.
Yep.
And they get the best. They take them to Winneba Sports College, select them, like Senior mentioned, some of them, they rope them into the security services, prisons, fire, the armed forces and all those things.
Yep.
So at least they get some stipend to survive on, and they are not forced to turn professionals, over time. And they build their endurance, stamina, footwork, defenses, and all. So solid amateur base before they turn professionals. And when they turn professionals too, you see the difference.
Yep.
Among themselves. Like he mentioned Azuma winning the title, his first title at the Canadian. I mean, I learned it was against Ramon Puti. The communities, police had to get reinforcement to manage because they were too good. And any of them could have become a worse something. So that Achia staff wasn't even, because all the players were good and none of them was ready to trade for Achia.
Which is throwing fights.
Which is throwing fights to start pad people's records.
So that's how we build a base. Before when they get to professionals, like I said, the state rule.
That's right.
So you look at it, the involvement of top personnel like DFANA, Amaka Amatefio, who make sure they are linked with major bodies like WBC. They deal with the president.
Yeah. Well, John Aletekofi was there.
Yeah, he was the vice president.
Yep.
And then before then, the man who came in before Brafo came, the accountant.
Oh,
something.
Nikwe Mensah.
Yes. Nikwe
Chartered
Mensah.
accountant.
Yes. Yeah. The Army gyms. I mean, the Army gyms are the how do you call it? The Accra Community Center there. They call it Seconds Out.
Seconds out.
Seconds Out. That's where that's Army gym. And it was well resourced by the armed forces. So we built a national team around it. And subsequently, when we get that link with major international bodies, it helped our bosses. But this is a situation, the Commonwealth Boxing Council has suspended us. Our bosses are not being ranked at the professional level. Now, the extension of the acting or the interim body of the GBA, their mandate ends Friday.
22nd.
Their mandate already ended.
Yeah, but I mean the extension I'm talking
No,
about.
but the extension is even, that's why I have it.
Yeah, so
that's
I'm saying that, okay, let us give the NSA a bit. So with the attention they have for them, the NSA say they are preparing this thing. And this is the GBA constitution, as I was carrying along. Which you go through it, a lot of things that, I don't know the word to use. And it need to be reviewed and to reflect the modern times. Right.
So in a nutshell, Nikwe was not the only problem.
I see, because
He was not the only problem.
The feeling I get, or when I read the situation,
Yes.
and Raymond and I Raymond will be joining us a bit. I think Ray is on. So
Beautiful.
Ray, if you are on, I'm sure you have a question or two. So just hold it for me. The feeling we get when we read the situation is there's this perception that, the problem of Ghana boxing was Mr. Nikwe. So now that Mr. Nikwe is gone, everything is fine and dandy. So allow us to continue running the show. Or now that this gentleman is out, we are okay. We can run it. We don't need normalization.
No, but you see, they helped Nikwe to fail. These people who are saying now that Nikwe is no longer around, they can run it. They helped Nikwe to fail by looking on, taking no action.
Okay.
So they are as culpable as Nikwe.
So you don't think that Ghana boxing can go forward with them as principal?
They were
actors?
all there when these fighters were fighting without doctors at ringside, in breach of their own regulations. So they are as culpable.
Okay.
So this is why I'm blaming NSA for the delay, because they should have put in measures, put in personnel to run it while they were waiting to put the interim body in, per the recommendations we made.
Okay. So what happens after Friday? I don't know if Ray, are you on? Hello, Ray. Okay, we'll try and bring Ray on. We'll try and bring Raymond on. Is he joining us on the phone? On the phone.
I'm on the.
Ray, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Nathan. Good morning to you and good morning to everyone in there. And let me apologize. I had to attend to urgent business, like I said. So.
No problem. That's why you have a solid team. We are your safety net.
Fantastic.
But you okay? So I'm sure you've been listening to Jojo and Echo. I'm sure you have questions. One question that you sent to me was of huge interest concerning Mr. Patrick Johnson. Echo is here. Jojo is also here. So maybe you can ask that question and then we can proceed with the conversation.
Very well, very well. So I wanted to find out why someone who was part of the system in previous eras and somebody who was removed from office by Nikwe for various offenses, including corruption, and had to visit Yoko a couple of times and had to enter plea bargaining, is now the man expected to lead the new reforms of a new Ghana Boxing Authority? Clearly, it doesn't sound right in our ears.
Okay, so yeah,
I had a quote say the normalization started with his appointment. Why do we have him starting off this whole normalization process?
Okay, Echo, I don't know if
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. He may not have heard me.
Okay.
I said whatever reconciliations have to be done, if you remember.
Yeah, you did say.
That's why I said that, because of outstanding issues.
Okay.
Yes, so whatever reconciliations have to be done.
Okay.
Then meantime, the statutes and the regulations of the GBA and the requirement of the state are being fulfilled by bringing Patrick Johnson, because this is a temporary measure. You need to bring somebody who knows the job instead of bringing somebody's private secretary or their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Okay.
So that's why I talked about Patrick Johnson. He was there. He's been there from Moses Foreman's time to Peter Zwene's time. So
he's somebody who
he knows the ropes
this.
to
So
run
his
it.
role is what? Temporary.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So to fix it, because it's an interim body, that's why it was important to bring and then the state had to fulfill its part of the bargain, because the NSA had also been complicit in not fulfilling its part of the bargain by not making sure they have a staff there as the Secretary General. Because some of the things that happened regarding the Olariwa June thing could have been averted if the Secretary General from the NSA were in place at the GBA. So that's how come I think it's fitting for the NSA to put their staff in, because it's a requirement per the GBA regulations to fulfill.
Okay.
Whatever outstanding issues, that's why I mentioned whatever reconciliations have to be made. I put in the caveat. I didn't want to stress it.
I
but
get it.
maybe Ray didn't hear that part.
Okay.
No, but Nathan, you see, my challenge is this. We want to sanitize the system.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it had gone through processes that we've not been comfortable with. Gone through processes that hasn't put Ghana Boxing where it's supposed to be. Now, Patrick Johnson has been part of this same system we are criticizing today.
He wasn't part of the.
They don't start with only new
How? How was he part of it?
So,
okay, Ray. So okay, you finish.
Yeah. So if you are bringing back Patrick Johnson to lead cleaning up the mess and to entirely strip that room of debt, clearly it doesn't fit into the purpose of this whole normalization, because right from the start, issue, it's flawed because of the tainted, in quotes, character you brought in to lead the normalization. Whether it's temporary, whether it's ad hoc, whether it's short term, clearly, if you put a questionable character in that position, it defeats the whole purpose of the normalization and everything that he has to do. Whether he has institutional memory, or he has the experience, or whether he works with the NSA. And the records are there. These are records that you can verify what happened between him and Nikwe and his situation with Iyoko and all. All of those matters are verifiable. So why should he be the person to lead the process?
Okay. Ray, I think I get so it's a reputational thing and it's a ethics,
Absolutely.
right? Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, I think I get Echo. You get Ray's.
No. See, we have to be careful when Patrick's not here to respond to this. Okay. I know, that's why I mentioned that whatever reconciliations have to be done.
I know you keep making that point that whatever
I put that caveat in, so they can deal with that. Whatever needs to be done regarding whatever allegations or whatever is on him has to be done. So I put that out already. But you still have to fulfill the part of the NSA's responsibility in making sure that the Secretary General position is filled from their staff.
Okay.
So he's there, and then whatever the legal part of it has to be done regarding him has to take place.
So for you,
and it's only a temporary issue, and he's not getting off scot-free. If there's something against him legally established, let the law take its course. I have no problem with that. But I'm also keen on making sure that the NSA also fulfills their obligations.
Okay, Ekwa, let me ask you this. In terms of options,
Yes.
if you take out Mr. Johnson from the equation,
Yes.
are there others the NSA could have used to do the same job?
He's the most experienced.
Or he's the most experienced
Who knows the ropes.
Okay.
And this is a supposed to be an interim body. You need somebody who knows the ropes already, not somebody to come and learn on the job. No.
Okay.
So that's why I said, if there are any issues regarding his person, the law is there.
Yeah.
Let the law take its place.
But for you, on the count of experience and competence.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's saying that he's part of the dirt. He's not part of the dirt. Regarding Nikwe's administration, he was removed after 1 year.
Okay, Jojo.
After 1 year.
After 1 year. Okay,
You see, if I'm getting Ray and getting him very well.
Yeah.
You see why he have problem with Johnson, and I think I share the same concern with Ray in the sense that in the committee's recommendation and reports, right? There should be and there will be need for auditing.
That's right.
And all those things. Now, this is a GBA which even Johnson was part of, right? And went overboard.
How long was
Well,
he?
wait, I'm coming.
No, but if you say
wait,
part
I'm
of-
not saying
now
no.
4 years. So
No, let me land. Let me settle. Let me come.
Let's specify.
No, wait. So he was part of.
For how long?
No, wait. I'm not saying. No, wait.
No,
You see,
no,
your
Nikwe was in
report-
there.
No, not.
Nikwe was in there for 4 years.
It wasn't Nikwe say. So you look at it.
Uh-huh.
Then there was an issue. A reason why Nikwe pushed him out. And
What
your-
was the reason?
I'm saying that no. Let me
let
land
the
first. I'm
listeners
saying there was an
hear.
issue.
No, it will be
Then
fair
I'm
for the
coming, I'm
listeners.
coming.
Okay,
I'm
guys,
coming.
hold on,
Now
hold
for your own.
No, Jojo,
wait,
let the listeners hear what was the issue.
Okay,
Okay,
Jojo.
now I'm coming. So let me come. So now
No,
I'm
start
coming.
relax.
Jojo,
The issue of
relax. Jojo, first question. How long was Patrick Johnson with the
Thank you.
Nikwe administration?
I think it was a month or two.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm coming. So,
how was
but,
he part of
but,
it?
but you don't know where I'm going.
Hold on.
But you don't know where I'm going.
Relax, Jojo.
Yeah.
Let's take it easy. I just want matters to be laid clear.
That's right.
So that
For the listeners.
so that people have the full appreciation
That's
of
right,
the
yeah,
story.
that's right.
Question number one: how long was Mr. Johnson with? How long did he work with the Nikwe administration for? How long was his stay with that administration?
I think it's a month or so. Now,
Okay,
and
Echo,
this was the reason.
Do you have any information to that effect?
Yeah.
How long did Mr. Johnson work?
Max 2 months.
2 months.
Max.
So now, look at it.
Okay,
Then,
so month
you know,
to month, no problem.
when the committee sat, which senior call is part,
Yes.
from the Ghana Boxing Federation, our president was a witness.
Yes.
Because we petitioned the federation that the GBA, which Johnson was part, and recently when we met him at the NSA, he confirmed it. They went overboard. Look, this is
When he says
When?
overboard,
I'm coming. Yes, I'm putting on it. This is their own constitution. And Article 2. They are Article 2. That's one. They are supposed that the GBA is supposed to regulate, organize, develop, encourage, and promote professional boxing in Ghana.
yes,
And that's their mandate too.
yes.
Then he was defending that they have to go and form a juvenile board and use GBF name to go and solicit for sponsorship, which the committee have recommended for, under which they are supposed to. It's part of the work of the normalization. So if it's part of the team now, the transition team normalization, like Ray is saying, that's what we are looking at, because you know that the committee said that money from Ghana Gas and GMPC to the Ghana Boxing Federation, which ended in account of the GBA, need to be probed.
Yeah.
And
there's no
Johnson
problem with
was
that.
part of those problems.
No,
Okay.
how
Fair
long?
point.
You said he was.
Oh, yes, so
how
that's
was he
all-
part of it?
So that's what I'm saying. When Ray is mentioning that, because the matter even went to the Yoku, to the extent that
I know that, and that's why I said let the law take its
Okay,
place.
so when we decouple everything,
Yes.
it is true that from all I've heard
Yeah.
and from the facts on the table, one, Mr. Johnson did work with the Nikwe administration
briefly, yes.
briefly.
Yeah.
No matter how brief it was,
Yeah.
he was part. There
Yes.
were issues,
Yes.
and he was thrown out. These issues, as we've all established, got into the realms of the law. Yoko and things have been mentioned right now. And so, Eko, you make a point that, okay, if there are legal issues,
Yeah, let
the law will deal
yes,
with that.
Let the law deal with it.
But your argument is that because the gentleman possesses experience and institutional knowledge,
and this is an
fulfilling-
interim.
is in an
place,
interim
and we
thing,
need
so he should-
somebody competent
And the
committed
body
to do
is
it.
supposed to fix the problem.
No,
And
no,
the
no.
wait.
No, let me tell you
So,
something.
is it, so
No,
the
I have-
personnel who even have issue is part of those who are coming to fix the problem.
No, he was in there for how long? It's important to.
No, but
make
he
it-
still.
I know,
When,
but I'm saying-
the audit is taking place,
Yes.
you'll be called.
No. You see, that I have more information than you do.
No, yeah, I
Yes.
don't doubt it.
That's why.
But
So
I'm
let me
saying
tell
that
you. Let me tell
we
you.
were also witnesses.
okay,
On your
one-
committee.
Look, one at
Your
a time.
president,
Yes.
he came before us.
Yes.
You know, we have more information than even the GBF have. We didn't put everything.
I won't doubt
in
it.
there.
Yeah, I won't doubt it.
We didn't put anything
I
in
said
there.
I won't doubt it.
No,
Yes.
we didn't put everything in there. Even the report, it doesn't even have the index of the evidence that we have.
Okay.
So if you look at the report, you will even see the evidence. We have the evidence. The legal department of the ministry has a lot that if push comes to shove, and we're not just dealing with Ghana, we're dealing with Nigeria too.
Yeah.
So we are being very, very careful so Ghana doesn't get sued. Okay, so apart from that, regarding the normalization and all that,
Normalization, yeah.
this interim body does not have the power ultimately, because as we speak, the white paper is being prepared.
Okay.
Okay, I know what's in the white paper.
Okay.
Okay, so when I'm speaking about these things, I know Patrick Johnson, being in the Secretary General's position, cannot influence it in any way, even if it involves him.
Well,
even
if you say so.
Of course, even if it implicates him or whatever, nobody can go scot-free.
will go
You know
scot-free.
who are being considered? The Attorney General's department will be part of it. The Ghana Police, the CID, and all that will be part of it to do the investigations.
Okay.
So this is beyond Patrick Johnson. He can't influence it in any way. So if he's culpable, he'll be found out, and then the law will deal with him.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if he's not culpable, then he stays.
Then he stays.
So, but we cannot be prejudicial, especially we in the media, cannot be prejudicial and try him before his case is done.
Fair.
So let the law
Fair
take
point.
its course.
Fair
In
point.
the meantime, the NSA would have fulfilled its part by putting the Secretary General there, which it hadn't done in the past.
Okay.
But you know, with the
Jojo, finish and then let me.
that,
let me
you
go
know
back
that
to
with the LI 2477 and the Act 9344, the GBA itself has the mandate to get someone, not necessarily from the NSA.
It's got to come from NSA.
Yes. No.
It has to come from
By
the
the
NSA.
Act, by this sports regulation and the Act.
The GBA is under the auspices of the NSA.
Yes, it is, and they give them the license, and by which you recommended that it should be revoked. Which how do you call it? Article 10 here. How do you call it?
And Jojo, since you know,
Yes.
the NSA must make sure it fills the Secretary General position, not just of the GBA, all the federations.
Of course,
have to come from.
No.
Have to come from
No.
the NSA.
No,
I'm not-
the new act does not. GFA Secretary
No,
General.
no.
No, wait. The GFA now.
Guys, hold on.
You see,
No, if by the new act, the new sports regulation in place, which I'm displaying, the content is here. It's not me who is saying it.
the recommendations we made were based on the law. It's the reason.
Which law? Which law?
It's quoted in there. It's the reason we asked the NSA to take over, and we asked the NSA to fill the position of the Secretary General.
which the law allows.
That's right. So
with
why,
the law
why
allows.
So the law allows that.
Yes.
Yeah, so
which
what's the
part-
problem?
Which part of the
Well,
regulation?
let me.
So if the law, Nathan, if the law allows it, what's the problem
then the
now?
NSA
No, but
has not
the law does not state necessarily that.
Okay,
The Secretary General,
but if the law allows
because
it,
athletics
as
are
you
now
say,
have their own.
Jojo,
Very clear.
if you
I'm
say
sure.
the law
Yes.
allows it,
Yes.
what's your problem now?
I'm saying that the laws allows you can appoint, but you can equally have appoint your own.
And the NSA is in the saddle now because the GBA has messed
yes,
up.
good.
And
Yes.
they brought in their man.
That's why we are
What's the
saying no.
problem?
But real concern is that
He may have concerns.
Yes.
We've addressed them.
Yes, I think Echo has answered largely. I think he's giving a good explanation as to all these
Let the law
dynamics.
deal
I
with
think
it.
there are some of the dynamics you can't say because, of course, you are in a privileged position.
Yeah.
So there are other factors involved. Let me go back to the line. Just hold on. Let me go back. Ray, if you are still there,
Yeah, Nathan, I'm here.
great. Any other question? Are you okay with Echo's response?
Well, Echo has taken a defensive hat this morning, so I don't want to.
I'm thinking of Ghana.
Really, the issues are the issues. We can't run away from them.
Okay,
My
fair.
other question is, Nathan, after the work of Echo's committee, we realized that we've been waiting for them to implement some of the things that were in that report, especially as boxing bouts continue to be held at the Bukum Boxing Arena. One of the key issues there has been the fact that we've not had a medical doctor. From what has been happening in recent times, and there's a boxing bout this weekend, some of us have found out that the GBA, the current body, is still using the nurse the nurse from the police hospital. He's still the man being used as the ringside physician. I don't know. I don't know if Echo or
Ray, you're talking about the gentleman who the nurse who was mentioned in the committee's work. He's still working for the GBA
as the ringside physician with this new body. I don't know. I don't know if Jojo or Echo they've been able to discover any of this.
Yeah, Echo.
I think this is a question for Jan Pofankra.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a question for Jan Pofankra because we have made our recommendations. He's supposed to make sure he implements them. This is an untenable situation. He shouldn't be the person in charge of the ringside.
Yeah, of course.
When he's not even qualified to be there. He's not a doctor. Period. So if it's been allowed to happen again, then you should blame the NSA. Period.
So now you understand why Ray is not comfortable.
No. This is a different matter.
It's
but you see, one is competent, one is not. You have to be. These are apples and oranges. What's his name? Patrick Johnson is competent in his position.
Yes.
The nurse is not.
No, but
they're not the same thing.
So that's why they say that
Ray, so
he's presenting.
So I'm sure. So I guess we need to ask the NSA a few questions, right?
Yeah.
Because how is it that they are supervising all of this technically, but then these things are still happening?
That's right.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so I'm noting it down.
And all of these things are happening within the space. Okay.
Yes.
And that is why some of us believe that, look, the implementation of this report has taken too long, and it seems the NSA
Echo agrees completely.
it's been too lenient with the entire report.
Echo agrees with you on that. He was laying it into the NSA boss a few minutes ago.
Yeah. So Nathan, some of us have issues. I wish I was in studio too.
Yes. It would really help.
But let me say something to Ray. Ray.
Yes, sir.
Some of the questions you want to direct at me are misdirected because some of the questions should go to the NSA, not me. We have asked the NSA to do XYZ, which they have failed to do to this day. But I'm not responsible for that.
But your recommendation insist on the Secretary General coming from the NSA. The law.
We asked. No, wait. Let me answer your question. The recommendation asked the NSA. There are two things that we are always forgetting. First of all, the recommendation asked the NSA to run professional boxing
in line with this statute.
Of course.
Yes.
It asked the NSA to run it while it's putting in an interim body.
Okay.
That has not taken place.
Okay.
So if the NSA is running it, Patrick Johnson is a staff of the NSA.
Okay.
So that will fulfill that part.
Yes.
That the NSA should run it.
Of course.
And they don't
with
have
the caveat that all other issues.
That's right. That's what whatever.
And Ray concerned. Ray is
let me address it. He's listening. He's listening. So let me address it. So the NSA is running it prior to putting in the interim body, which is per the recommendation, and it's put in its staff, Patrick Johnson, who is more competent than any personnel to run that position.
Okay.
Now, regardless of whatever legal issues may be lingering, the law will take care of that. Okay. So while it's running that, it's fulfilling that part of the recommendation.
Okay.
You know, the ministry accepted the recommendations fully. Some will be implemented with modifications here and there. Okay. So, if anything, this is a skeleton representation of the NSA running the body with Patrick Johnson.
Because technically, the GBA doesn't exist.
It doesn't. And
so the NSA is running it in the interim.
That's right.
Now, after this, there's normalization.
That's right. So, but the remnants of the Kote Nikwe administration, together with Patrick Johnson, are doing it temporarily, which is contrary to the recommendation. That's why I fault the NSA. They're supposed to run it independently of the remnants, who are giving the NSA problems now. So, and it's the doing of the NSA. They've asked for it. So, if the NSA, that's why I'm saying this is a skeleton representation by putting Patrick Johnson there, because it's supposed to be run solely by NSA staff.
Okay. Ray,
before it puts in the interim body.
I want to ask Jojo my final question.
Okay, this one is for Jojo.
Yeah, this one goes to the GBF.
Okay.
Nathan, we have the Commonwealth Games close back. Okay.
Yes. Common Games what next year? Common Games usually World Cup year, so next year, yes.
Yeah. So it's very close.
Yeah.
Now you realize that as we speak, there's nothing there's nothing on the side of the GBF that shows that they are getting ready. They have a team that's getting ready or preparing for the Commonwealth Games. And mind you, the last time we went to the Olympics, Ghana did not have a single boxer participate in the Paris Olympics. So how come the GBF is quiet on all of this? How come the GBF is not making sure the next generation of boxers who will possibly fly the flag of Ghana at the next Commonwealth Games? We've not seen anything. We've not heard anything. We don't know who the boxers are going to be. Are we going to rely on the same old boxers who go and struggle to qualify for Olympic Games and all? Are they the same boxers we are going to rely on? Or we are going to see a total cleanup of the system to see new boxers actually emerge and possibly fly the flag of Ghana? And I hear Jojo waxing lyrical about how GBF has produced medals all over all these years and all. Clearly, the medal line is dry. What is the GBF doing?
All right, Jojo. So that's for you. I don't know. Okay, will you answer that? Do you want to answer that now or
let me handle it quickly.
Okay,
I think
no
it's of a great concern because you look at the chain of production of quality buses had to start with the national team, the Black Bombers,
yes.
And as it is now, we have a female buses too. Mm-hmm. So we have 3 national teams that we manage now. That's the youth, the Rockets. Those up to the 18 years, then the Black Bombers, that's the elite, national team. Then the female, the Black Hitters. So as it is now, look at it. After every Olympic cycle, the national team is dissolved, and as it is now, that the post Samuel Techi era, we had the national individual championship that got us that team that went to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham and won the 2 silver and then the bronze, and subsequently we couldn't get any qualification slot to the Paris Olympic Games, but with quality preparation we managed to get 4 gold, a silver and 2 bronze from the African Games, and the Olympics over. That team has been dissolved.
Okay.
Unfortunately for us, most of our good bosses or medal winners have 10 professionals. And so the team in a way need to be recomposed and reinforced. And how do we do that reinforcement? We need to organize national championship. And this national championship, as I said, the current GBA, which I'm highly involved, we are not trying GBF. I'm not trying to Ghana Boxing Federation in charge of amateur, juvenile, and youth. We are not trying to make it Accra based. So when we review our activities, we look at what really costs Ghana for not qualifying to the Olympics the last time.
Context for our listeners: the next Commonwealth Games is
next year. I'm building a point. So allow me, just give me just a minute.
I just want to give people the dates. 23rd July to the 2nd.
We are already
of August,
behind the 8 ball.
2026.
1 year to go.
Yeah,
they are already behind.
So I think I like it, and I expect Ghanaians to come in and see how best we all get a team to the next Commonwealth. Now, as it is now, our regional coaches, we've asked them to put in place a team. We're supposed to have to start with the zonal national championship before we finally have one to have a reconstituted national team within all the weight categories and form a new national team. Because as I speak now, it's only 2 or so of the old guys who are still there, and they also still need to justify why they should be part of the team. It's not automatic. How do you call it? A slot. And in that regard, this is all about funding. We've met with the sports minister, we'll discuss it, and something will start very soon. Meanwhile, the federation have also identified that we go to major international because Ghana as a country we lack ITOs, international technical officials. Some of the decisions mostly go against us. But this year, the focus have been to certify and train most of those people. We've done that. Our coaches who until recently it was only Kotofori Asai who was certified. As I speak now, about 25 of them have IBA Star 1 coaching certificate, and those are some of the things we've done so far, and it's part of it. There's a team now, selected team, who are training now and might be going to Liverpool for now. There's a world boxing who are in charge of amateur and recognized by the IOC. Yeah. Though that's not the main national team. So to answer Ray's question, to organize the national championship and get a new national team to prepare for next year Commonwealth Games, which will be the base to prepare for qualifiers to the Olympic Games, as it is now, is in the pipeline. And it's all being delayed because of funding. Because the GBF, as you know, does not generate income. It's a national team. Yeah. But if the state does not, so this is where the concerned, Nathan, and all those who are concerned, the advocacy should continue. We expect support from the corporate world. They should come on board.
You see, I don't buy this then. It's a national team.
Yes.
It's the state.
No, I'm saying that.
No, wait. We're talking about amateurs. We're not talking about the professionals.
Yes.
The amateurs, the responsibility lies on the state.
Yes, about
to provide.
The state.
Don't ask the corporate world to come in now. See, because the state must lead, and then the corporate world.
I'm saying that. Yes. So we've made arrangements.
So our program,
our programs.
I want to say something about filling all the weight divisions. I think it's a wrong thing to want to fill all the weight divisions.
We'll try.
Wait. Yes. If you check our record, Ghana doesn't win beyond a certain weight category. We win from the smaller weights all the way to lightweight.
Now, so can I come in now?
So why don't you focus on where we can win more, or even go and win gold? Because the last time we didn't win gold, we want to go back there. So don't fill all the weight categories.
Yes,
categories Ghana cannot win.
Yeah, but
so don't waste anybody's resources.
But that is the area for the technical men to decide on.
No, per the record.
You said per the record.
No, per the record.
But there was a time we had.
We're not talking about the past.
Now I'm saying that. You see, look at it.
You see, Nathan. So some of the problems.
Okay, you finish and then Joe.
Some of the problems that the GBF are posing now, are giving Ghana now, is not giving Ghana the opportunity to focus on the red zone or the end zone. Mm-hmm. Where can Ghana definitely win gold or silver? And we know the weight categories. Don't tell me about the technical people who decide. I know. Per the records, even if you check the last time, check in what categories did we win.
Okay, so
the smaller weights all the way to the lightweight. If you feel, you feel welterweight, middleweight, and all that, you're wasting
the lower weight. So
yes, you're wasting resources.
Bantamweight,
all the way to lightweight, and we stop there.
So this is it now.
So this is where we can win.
This is where, as a country, we might be disadvantaged. That's why we need to adapt.
Yeah, we don't have time.
No, I'm saying adaptation coming like this. The next Olympics qualifiers, the weight categories has come already. Mm-hmm. It's because it's being organized it's being held in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. The world boxing, have brought out the weight category, and the heavier weights are more involved. We're going to have from flyweight, bantamweight, no featherweight now, lightweight, then straight to light middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we should focus from lower to light.
So now there are so as our the selection rope for the Ghana Boxing Federation is not limiting. Fortunately, we have Ghanaians in the diaspora who are also willing and based on what they can do.
So you want to follow this GFA thing?
No, it's not about it. If we have a Ghanaian,
you see,
Jojo,
you should build it from here.
Yes.
Build it from here.
See,
and we know which category.
Yes, I'm saying that.
Focus on that.
If you have a Ghanaian who is good,
you don't have the resources
and eligible.
You see, don't do this GFA thing.
No, it's not about GFA thing because we are in a different era now. We just saw this Chantel Louis Roca who came in because he added something to the national team. As a country, like you mentioned, we lack talent in the bigger weights. And if you have a Ghanaian,
you can win.
No, I'm saying if you have a Ghanaian who meet that criteria,
and you don't have the resources, why don't you focus on the resources here?
If it's possible, because we brought in this lady, what's the name? Dr. Onela.
Well, what did she win for Ghana?
No, she didn't. At a stage, for the records, she's the first female Ghanaian to win a medal, bronze, in Tokyo in the qualifiers in Dakar.
You see, I want to focus on what we have back here. We don't have resources.
But the point is that if we have a Ghanaian with a certain weight, and you have the ability.
See, that's misplaced priority, because the priority should be about enabling the homegrown talent who have been denied for so long.
Okay, Jojo. So long story short, the selection process, has it started?
It hasn't started anyway, but the coaches are on standby. The competition will come on, which will select them very soon. Yes,
and then we have a team.
Have a team. I mean, the delay. We appreciate the concern for delay, because Boston still remain the nation's leading.
But the GBF is not helping by wasting more time, as pointed out by.
No, but I'm saying it's all about funding.
No, wait. Besides the funding, the decision making is defective. You want to participate, you want to fill in all the other categories.
No, we are looking at that.
No, you shouldn't be looking at that. Because you don't win anyway. So Ghana doesn't win beyond a certain way. Why waste everybody's time?
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Then it's about potentials too, because the slot that will be given to us, that's what we will determine. So, assuming that the competition required for 12 weight categories, and we are given 5. We look at areas that we are strong.
Okay, but Jojo,
yes, so the areas that are strong are the lower.
Yes. So we need boxers with
true. Yes. So the point is that obviously from history and from what you have said and from what we all know, we typically do well in a certain concentration area of weight.
Yes.
From whatever to about middle,
lightweight. Don't even bring middle.
No, lightweight.
Max.
Let's say lightweight.
Max.
Right. So why don't we? Because it's very likely that all the boxers will fall within that range.
Yes.
So why don't we concentrate energies on that first? If we find any other boxer outside Ghana who is of Ghanaian parentage or Ghanaian descent and is a heavyweight and want to bring him on board, that's okay. But I think that should be almost like plan B. Let us focus on
so that's what I'm saying. Yes. Okay. The plan A is in place. The B is in place.
Stick with the plan A.
Yeah, so
you don't even have time, and you don't even have resources.
It's not like football where maybe within one category you feel more. You have to fill one weight per boxer.
It doesn't matter if you can fill only one person. So you can go and win. So be it.
Fortunately for us, we have good bantamweight who is a gold medal potential. Hoping that nothing happens. All things being equal, he'll be ready and go to the Commonwealth Games. Now, the flyweights who we bank our hope on and highly ranked, that's Tio, as 10 professional, is not available. Then someone like Joseph Komi, who we thought could use his experience to at least get a go, because last time he got silver.
Professional.
Yeah, 10 professional. So it's not available.
Yeah.
But the rules allows it that if he hasn't for a certain number, he can still come back.
So that's on the side.
Then the heavyweight we are talking about is because as the Americans and then the British, who because of their nature, they've tuned the thing to favor them.
And it doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
Jojo, it doesn't. The point is that in everything, sports, politics, whatever, there will always be
comparative advantage.
Those countries will always dominate. That's to the side. We have to ensure that when we get to Glasgow next year,
we win gold.
We have enough boxers to fight in the lower categories or the lower weights. And those boxers, because naturally that's where they are strong and that's where they fit, they should be able to make a good push for a medal.
And this is where I have to clarify again, Nathan. And the organizers too have really...
It doesn't matter. Look, even if we have only one...
I'm saying that the organizers too has limited the lower weights.
So even if we have one, if we take only one, let's go and get the goal. That's it.
Ray, final
Why
question.
You want to waste all the resources?
Ray, final question, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah. So my final question will go to Jojo again. Who are the coaches who are supposed to manage these boxers? Because clearly, there's evidence to show that our boxers are struggling to get to the level where they can really compete and get into those medal zones. It seems we've gathered around the same group of boxers who have delivered mediocre performances consistently year after year. Are they still the coaches we are going to rely on for the next generation of boxers? And this issue raises about our specialists, where our boxers are good at, the weight class. I think that, you see, listen, we have to start looking beyond those weight categories. And again, a lot will boil down to coaches. Who coaches some of these boys? Who helps them to make the weight? And I dare say that, look, let's not still stick to the issue of, this is where we are good at, so let's focus there. Let's keep our strength there. The Americans at the last Olympics, an American won in the middle and long distance, the 1,500, Cole Hawker.
Yeah.
He won gold in the 1,500 meters, and clearly. And
Echo's point, I think, is based on time. We have only 337 days to go.
That's right.
Yeah, but Nathan, with a very good coach, I'm sure we
With very good coach.
And I feel that.
I think it's also the other question Ray was asking about coaching.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So Nathan, I think that let's begin to look at how we can make it possible. If Cole Hawker can go and live in Kenya, run with all of these guys and then come and win the long distance, clearly it means that it can be done regardless.
At time,
Ray. Let's try to do it.
Ray.
And see how far we can go.
Ray.
Sir.
You see, because we're behind time, and the next Commonwealth Games is only about 11 months to go. So let's focus on our greatest potential for just next year. You're saying we should look at the other divisions. Really? With what kind of coaching? We still have Oforiasa is the only 3-star rated coach in the country still. So even if we can get only one boxer and he can go and get us gold, so be it. And then we'll plan for the Olympics and all that. But for the Olympic Games, because of the brevity of time, let's focus on the greatest potential for Ghana and go get us the gold.
Right.
That's it. It's because of the time.
All right, Ray, thank you so much for joining in. You had to take a detour to speak with us. So all the best with all that you are doing. We'll catch up later.
Fantastic.
All right, Ray, thank you. All right, have a good one. All right, guys, let's
now to respond to Ray concerning the coaching.
Yes.
I mean, yes, I think there are concerns over there, and I will look at. As I said, it's not only at the national team that the coaching starts. The gyms. That's why we have really, built the capacity of those coaches by getting them those courses. Mm-hmm. And then, fortunately for us, some diplomatic missions have come on board, so they have their spaces available for us, especially to start with the French embassy, who have supported us with some equipment and all those things. Yes, I'll come there.
Okay.
So we have the talent. Now there's something I call high performance training center.
Yep.
So next year when we get a team, after the non-residential campaign, there's going to be a long residential campaign. And that's why
non-residential. We shouldn't even get to talk about non-residential. That's why we're talking about the state.
I'm saying that if we don't have
don't even entertain non-residential. It's not going to help Ghana.
So as it is now, then the French are helping, and they brought an expert, from their ICEP center, who came to, have some sessions with our coaches, and it's available to us. He was with the French national boxing team, and the Mexican's ambassador is also having an arrangement that will give Ghanaian boxers, anytime they want to travel outside, some kind of arrangement. They can go to Mexico and then share their training activities over there. So there are things in place. I cannot
it's not well structured.
Ultimately, we need to find something more permanent.
That's right. It's got to come from the top. And even the French helping. France is not a noted boxing nation.
No, but we are talking about.
Yeah, but if we want to catch up,
because look at it. Why Algeria and Morocco, and to some extent Tunisia, are dominant in amateur boxing now in Africa?
Because they invested.
No, they invested, but because of that arrangement with the French, the High Experience Center in Bordeaux.
No, it's because the state has invested.
No, if the state has invested, yes. I'm saying that now.
So our answer is the state must invest.
Yeah, but if the state is not
but you see, we shouldn't have that conversation that if the state is not doing, the state's got to do it. But that's why we have to push it.
Yeah, we are pushing.
Yeah, so don't give any way out.
That's why we are relying on our.
Our friends.
No, our friends.
No, it's not enough.
Support.
You see, you have to be radical in your thinking if you want to change something. If you're going to we want to rely on other. No, the national team is the responsibility of the state.
Yeah, that's
so
why
don't stay there and push it.
That's why I said that.
Okay, guys.
In the past, no, you see, in the past,
we do.
That's why in the past, when we were getting results, there were certain things that were done, and I said that the state making a deliberate policy to build the national team around the armed forces, and you saw the kind of personnel that are around it, the kind of coaches that we have.
Yeah, but
Abana and all
two
those
things
people.
quickly.
Okay.
Amateur
Before we wrap
level,
it up.
the state has to invest heavily. No excuses.
Of course, that one. Yes.
And then when it comes to the pro, now you can't rely on the state helping the pro. The pro,
You are on your own.
you're
right?
on your own. So I get all these messages with so-called professionals asking the state to help professionals. No, we should never tolerate it. And you should not even encourage anybody talking like that. If you hear anybody talking like that, you should shut it down. Because the pros are professionals. It's not the responsibility of the state.
Their constitutions clearly spelled it out.
I know, but
they are
still,
pros,
these
yeah.
so-called professionals are still asking the state for help. No.
Okay, guys.
And you have too many poor promoters in the game. It's a problem. Look, if you check
So
Ghana,
that's why we need personnel to do the normalization, because your recommendations here
Well,
over
I want to
here.
go back there, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
Let's-
talking about the
we are wrapping it up.
professional realm. You see, check with Azuma Nelson.
Okay.
Even though the state was heavily involved, Rancraft, with their expertise, were always going to the forum where Poison won his title. These people have expertise and they have clout, they have exposure, they have traveled extensively in order, they have the connections in the sanctioning bodies around the world. We need that kind of expertise and clout.
Okay.
Currently, what we have with the professional side, we are poor promoters. They don't have the clout.
And
They are not going to all the
money.
They are not going to the conferences where the big shots are, who take decisions to rate your boxers. So instead of, for instance, even with Ali way back, and even with Tyson, you have to have with professional. You have to have a body pull their resources together. Maybe 3 people or 5 people or 10 instead of these small time promoters we have now. They cannot take the Joseph Comey. Look, Joseph Comey can win a world title. Currently, who is going to take Joseph Comey to the world title? It will never happen because they don't have the clout. The promoters now cannot take him there. But you have to have about 3 or 4 of them coming together, pull their resources together before they can have that kind of push. And then the state will also back it.
Now, so you remember the days of Freema Kwame, Sika Priest.
All right, guys. Let's end.